How? Keith Howe. License to hear. What's this a video about? License to hear? There's actually something you should consider adding to your driver's license. What is it? Let's find out.
Hearing aids for life, here's the answer.
I've got a little interesting video today. Have you ever thought about telling the police about your hearing loss? Hello, Keith Howe from Here's the Answer in the Dalles. And today I'm going to talk about the hard of hearing or deaf designation for your driver's license. I have to give full credit to my dad on this one because he was all excited. He's like, look what I got. Look what it's like. Look at the new phone book almost, you know? Jerk reference, so maybe some of you get it. Anyway. And so, no, he got a hard of hearing designation on his license. And I was like, that is an incredibly smart thing. I honestly didn't even know that was a thing out there. Now, I know a lot of us aren't exactly looking to flaunt the hearing loss you may have. But what we need to think of is maybe a worst case scenario. And quick disclaimer, I'm not going to attempt to say anything negative about any law enforcement officer or anything like that. I actually was a reserve police officer in the Dalles for a couple of years, so I have nothing but respect for law enforcement. I'm simply bringing up a little worst case scenario here. Worst case scenario, your hearing aids are out and you have a police officer giving you instructions and you're not responding. That's usually not a recipe for good things happening. But what a lot of you don't know is that when you get pulled over for a reason, certain things will pop right up on the officer's screen. I remember back when I did it, a good example of someone had a concealed weapons permit, that would pop right up on her screen. And for me, that meant, hey, this is one of the good guys. They have no felonies. They haven't done anything wrong. And so my guard was usually down a little bit when I saw that pop up. So now if you get pulled over and it pops up hard of hearing or deaf designation, they'll have to understand their communication might need to be a little bit different for you if, for example, your hearing aids aren't working for some reason. Or even just because we have hearing aids doesn't mean you hear as well as you'd like to all the time. So just a little thing to think about doing, that don't be embarrassed about it. I'm not saying it's going to save your life. That would have been a fun little tagline to get some clicks, but again, law enforcement aren't shooting people that aren't hearing well. That's not a thing, so don't go there in the comments. It's really easy to do. You just literally go out to your DMV, and you do have to pay for another license is the negative part of it. I would recommend you Google your state name and hard of hearing or deaf designation. This is what I did in Oregon here. And this is what came up. It's very basic information. My dad just dropped in. He didn't even provide an audiogram in the state of Oregon. I think maybe he just showed him his hearing aids and they said, yep, you're hard of hearing. Just because that worked in Oregon does not mean that's going to work in your state. So always best to check ahead of time. My advice is the next time you think about renewing your driver's license is to add that designation to it. It doesn't mean you need your hearing aids to drive. It simply alerts the officer that you might have some trouble hearing what he or she has to say. That's not a bad thing. We've hit 500 subscribers, so I appreciate that. We're halfway to the goal of 1,000. If you want to just hit that button, it'll keep me making videos for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.
Hearing aids for life, here's the answer.